Welcome back, my peeps. We've had some updates, and for those of you who are tuning in after missing a couple of episodes, the absolute saddest thing has happened in this game so far. Something that has torn me to my core and has scarred me for the rest of my life. In all of my gaming days, I will remember this moment as one of the moments that pushed me over the edge. We lost a point with Gloria for like absolutely no freaking reason. This is why I don't leave your sister. Should have brought your sister with you, and then you would. Anyways. So. But I'm betting it's just like family stress and whatnot, so. It looks like it's time for us to get into some trouble. And you know how much I love trouble. Alright, March of the Callers. This is the morning you have been preparing for. One of the houses in downtown Eterna is packed with a crowd of people. Everyone puts collars on their necks. Not enough for everyone, so the rest of them cover their necks with scarves and belts. Anything else that looks dark against the skin. So many faces, even faces you have never seen. People of all estates have come here today. You flow out into the street, people keep coming to join the crowd even as you start walking. Yeah! There are shouts in the crowd now, our cause is just. I feel like could be a little bit more meat to that statement, but whatever. You know, it's not my group. I just popped in. This group was here before me. I just popped in. Words fill you with confidence. You remain composed. Everyone is smiling. You march in the front now. Feeling is indescribable. Change is coming. We hold on. Square is already covered with Square is already covered with stacks of firewood from the pyres. You see people in collars tied to wooden stakes. The Inquisitors busy around them. Fiery execution is almost ready to begin. Your path is blocked. The Imperial Legion of soldiers stand guard on all streets, leading them to the square. The crowd keeps pushing. Oh, it's this one we're going to have a fight with Tomas. I don't want it. There are cries on the streets now. Mages and witches and children of gods, give the witches back their lives. Down with the shackles of the lots. Okay, cool. Cries of the lot was still St. Ignatius Square. A legionnaire yells over the mob and orders you to stand aside before they draw their swords, and then you hear a scream right next to you. We've got them outnumbered. We're going through them. Sophia, you insane woman. Her voice rings in your head and fills you with fury and faith in victory. This is bad. This is bad. The cause is right. This is bad. And you run straight for a legionnaire with a sharp sword. Be right back with you in a minute, my friends. I'm back, and as you can see, stuff happened. I accidentally clicked the page. She done a dum-dum. Her voice rings in your head and fills you with fury, and and you run straight at a legionnaire's sharp sword, but suddenly a hand catches you and pulls you back. You see Sophia, now her eyes burning with a golden light. The ecstatic, furious mob flows around her towards the unnerved legionnaire. Sophia's face looks inhuman now, her grin predatory. I was afraid this would happen. I thought I helped to quell this, but the legionnaire swings his sword at the maddened mob, but he is quickly knocked off his feet. His fellow soldiers, guarding the square, lock their shields together and draw their swords. There is a look of bewilderment in the Inquisitor's eyes. Seems none of them expected such a frenzy. Sophia leads the attack. Why didn't I know about this? Sophia, why didn't I know about this? Set the sufferers free. Julius Diamond is on our side. I thought, wait a second. We were supposed to gain his side, not do this and claim it. Sophia, what the crap are you doing? You insane woman. What have you done? Oh no. Oh, any idea of a peaceful march? is now thrown to the wind. Sophia is about to send the Lotless against the line of the Legionnaires. Only moments are left until they strike. You have to be there in the front lines, or will you stop her and avoid further bloodshed? There is still time. Or will you execute the plan yourself and free the captives from the funeral pyres on your own? I'm scheming enough to do that. She's trusting of me. No, I'm not beginning the assault, because that's just going to make things a lot worse. No, she's going crazy. I have to hold her back. This is going to end so badly if this continues. You grab Sophia by the shoulders and demand to stop the madness. If she keeps spurring the people on, it will only lead to bloodshed. She stares at you for a moment and then stops shouting. It's not the crowd you must command right now, you tell Sophia. She should focus on the Legionnaires who are blocking your way. They are confused. They want no bloodshed. They will break ranks and retreat if only she can convince them. Sophia holds her arms up and approaches the Legionnaires. The sun is shining in her eyes. Okay. Enough. We are not here for bloodshed. We are here to end it. Oh, so much better. The people are angry, but theirs is a righteous anger. The people on those pyres are their children, their relatives, their loved ones. They are innocent souls. Anyone can be born a mage. None of these people chose to be this way. Sophia's speech has a strange, almost hypnotic effect on the Legionnaires. Some of them suddenly lower their swords. Their ranks are broken. Woo! Some of the men and some... Oh, I've already read that. The Inquisitors rush to prevent this. There are too few of them. The Lotless start running for the pyres. Hands start untying ropes and scattering firewood. The mages are free, but they are frightened and confused. A young woman in the Inquisitors, hello, helps another woman with golden hair down from an unlit pyre. Very good. Did you just hear her apologize? The Inquisitor looks at you next. Thank you. Wait a second. Wait a second. Are you? You're the girl from like way frickin' earlier. The one that I defied, aren't you? Yeah, the girl we were at the tree. That's you, isn't it? Cries of victory fills St. Ignatius Square. The triumph is short-lived. Those cries may be loud, but thundering hooves and clanging steel are louder. You hear the Legion cavalry advancing on the square. You glance around and run for the nearest back street. You dash through a house. I also realized something. I just realized something. If I get sentenced to death, to die a true death, that's the end of the game. Like, I don't get sentenced to death and then come back and then get sentenced. No, like, if they sentence me to a true death, the game is over. You glance around and run for the nearest back street. I'm so glad I did what I did then. You dash through the house of the terrifying inhabitants and run through a back door of another street. You hear screams and shouts of clanging metal behind you, so you keep running through the maze of streets, not even bothering to look behind you to see if there's anybody in pursuit. You run as long as you can until your foot catches a loose brick in the road and you almost smash your teeth in. Only then do you stop. It's quiet. You do not recognize this part of Eterna. There's not a soul around you. It's hard to believe that the city can contain tranquility, and it can contain both this tranquility and hell from only a few minutes ago. You find a flop house on a nearby street and rent a dirty cubbyhole of a room, no questions asked. Okay. You pay for a few days' stay at once. It is a good thing you kept your money on you today. Then you walk upstairs to a room and collapse onto the bed. A wave of shakedowns and arrests washes over the capital over the next few days. You wait it out in the room. There's no news about the Lotless. It's as though none of it never happened. You go to St. Ignatius Square only 3 weeks later. The cobblestones are covered with soot, and you see spots of dried blood. In the bushes nearby, you find several broken collars. Our case is just. Alright, so I gained a manipulation, and I gained a silver tongue. Alright. Well, yeah, I gained a silver tongue. That's good. That was what I wanted. That was the minimum of what I wanted. Okay. The march in defense of the witches ended in chaos and carnage in the streets of Eterna, sadly. But I stopped it from being worse than it could have been. Ooh. So I saved the enigmatic singer known as the Golden Voice from an untimely death. I didn't even know I was doing that. Okay. Well, that's good. All right, 19 years old, and yeah, we've got time to keep going. All right. So the two major events take place. First, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the Great Chancellor of the Empire. He has been ousted. Were we a part of that? His replacement. Hold up! Hold up! We're just gonna gloss over that? That's a big deal. His replacement, the Arch... Oh, no. That makes more sense. That makes much more sense. Oh, this is not good. But he is a hated enough figure that he could probably be overthrown. So, Monroe, Mr. Uppity up his own butt, is the one in charge now. This is not good. I'm gonna let you guys... read this for a moment. The new Great Chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by mantle. That's not going to go over well. Magari, your homeland now has an overseer. Gaius Tempest, the older brother of the Emperor Uther. I embrace the cringe. Usually the overseer of a province is an archduke. After all, it makes sense for the locals province, and most noble emperors would be the locals. Yet now in this age, old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Melandius is absolutely furious. They're going to be at each other's throats for the provinces, not bode well for the future. And here's the thing, so far, I have had very minimal impact on any of this. Like, maybe the only thing that I could have done was fight against Sophia, but my home province is about to face great changes. Peace has gone up, struggle for power has increased. Okay, so this is going to be... What do you want to show me in Destiny? Okay, so that's probably going to be important in the future. I'm just tired of seeing that shiny notification-y thingy. Weeks passed and months and not a word from the Lotless. You have to resort to odd jobs to survive. How much longer will you have to wait? Your hopes of seeing the Lotless return wane more and more with each passing day. You still recall the loss and the bloodshed of St. Ignatius Square with pain. What happened to the others? How many managed to get away? And, more importantly, what happened to Sophia? More days pass, you hear nothing. You keep returning to the same familiar city streets, glancing at the walls and windows, anxiously waiting for the sign of a familiar face. And one day you see a sign. A yellow towel hung outside the window. Outside the widow mayor's window. It means tonight. You return to the basement. Only a few people are there. You look onto their faces. There are fewer of you now. Some of the Lotless could not bring themselves to come, and others died back in the square. Sophia sits in the opposite end of the room, like an actor on stage, her pipe in hand. A golden ray of sunset has just reached through the basement window to glint in her hair. People sitting at the benches or leaning against the wall. You sit where you normally do, in the front row, almost in the middle. There are voices and there are questions. Why did our meeting stop? Where's Sophia been all this time? What do we do now? Sophia stands up and looks straight at you, a golden light glowing in her eyes. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I wanted to ask you all for one last favor. Please, for your own sake, don't do anything foolish. The golden light in Sophia's eyes comes alive and flies through the hall, enveloping others in a vicious warmth. Your eyelids grow heavy, your mind becomes tangled and slow to react. You can barely stand, and your legs feel like they're made out of rubber. People in the front row slump to the floor. There are cries of surprise and confusion from the back rows. What the? Then you... Armed knights clad in black armor enter the basement. The lotless at the door draw their weapons and are killed instantly. A voice full of steel rings through the room. In the name of the Emperor Uther... You are all under arrest. Holy crap! Your heart is racing, but the rays of sunlight will not release you from your stupor. You can do nothing but watch as your united brotherhood perishes. This feels like a nightmare. Some run for the tiny windows, others to get down on their knees and surrender immediately. Others stand or sit still, unsure what to do. Your former unity is shattered. People you used to call friends and allies now kneel in submission, and those who do not kneel are quickly cut down. There are screams and flashes of steel, and then a merciless cry: surrender or face execution. Sophia is no longer glowing. Her eyelids are red. She tries to maintain her composure, but you can see her lower lip trembling. Your eyes meet, and she looks away. Sophia, but how? Why? Everything ends as quickly as it began. Most of you are arrested, many are killed. Everyone bound by Sophia's spell is swiftly bound at the wrists and placed against the wall. You know, most of you would rather die fighting, and you would if it were not being bound and gagged by magic. They took your choice away from you. These people are well armed, well trained, but you see no signs on their armor. They are not the Legion, nor the Prefecture, nor the Inquisition. Your worst fears come true. These are soldiers from the secret chancellery. Crap. Okay, I can do anything. You're bound by magic so strong that you cannot even twitch. You were trapped along with the rest of the lotless. There is no escape. Your eyes closed. You have to muster all of your willpower to drive slumber away. Do you have enough willpower to break Sophia's spell even for a moment? That's gonna drain me. And even if you do, will it even help if you resist? Okay, so my options is you accept the inevitable and do not resist arrest. Both of these are going to take willpower. I'm going to have nothing left. You break free and distract the secret chancellor soldiers in order to give some of the lotless a chance to escape. Sophia's betrayed you all. You urge your brothers to resist her. Oh, this hurts. Oh, this hurts. Whatever the heck is going on with Sophia needs to get sorted out. I feel like doing this is going to destroy my relationship with her. I may end up dying if I do this, though. Oh, no! The game could end right here! The game could end! The whole game could end right here! That means that if I do either of these, I lose all of my willpower. It's either I escape and destroy the only friend I have, I assume, or I have a feeling like I'm gonna need my chance with Sophia. Okay. You clench so teeth they screech, and you do your best to stand up. It takes so much strength that you scream, but you finally break free of the spell that binds you and you stand up. Neither Sophia nor the armored mercenaries expected that to happen. You take advantage of the confusion and knock down the secret chancellery knight at the door. Then you run for an oil lamp on the wall and you smash it against the floor. A wave of fire spreads quickly. Several men in black armor lunge at you. You are bound again, not by magic, but by heavy stomping boots. You hear the screams all around you. Halt, stop them. Your distraction gave some of the lotless enough time to break the spell and escape through the door and the small windows. The leader's commanding voice stops the panic. Let them flee. We'll find them later if we are ordered to. Tie up the rest. They tie you up, tightening the knot around your wrist so hard that your fingers turn white, and kick you in the gut again and again for good measure. Sophia leans over you. She whispers something so quietly you can barely hear, and yet every word rings loudly in your mind. You did all you could, Brante. Do not resist him now. This is the only way I can save your life. You are dragged outside and thrown into a windowless wagon with other lotless. Okay, I made the right move. Soon the wagon shifts and starts moving. You are being taken somewhere. Okay, so I've still got a little bit left. I can do one more awesome thing. Okay, so I am a dangerous one now. I am very scared. Okay, good. I've built up a lot of goodness. Attack on the lotless. Many of the conspirators were captured. This is so not good. I'm so glad I made the decision I made, though. Recruitment. Huh? Days are followed by nights. Nights are followed by new days. You can only tell because of the light coming through the tiny window near the ceiling. You have spent several months in this cramped cell. It's 5 steps long, 2 steps wide. These walls felt oppressive during your first few weeks, but people can get used to anything eventually. Sad but true. Feed twice a day. They do not answer any questions. They take away the food if you scream too loudly. You think of your family often. How would they react if they heard you were facing execution for being part of an underground movement? Mother would die from grief. Execution always brings true death. Father's hair would turn white. Gloria would cry. Stefan would rage, and Nathan would become even more isolated. Sophia, how could she do just a thing? She said the lotless were her family. She insisted so much on freeing the innocent mages. She urged you to support the Patriarch Junius and the new faith. Sophia said all of that, and then she stood there and watched her fellow lotless get killed and arrested. Their lives lost, years of work undone and destroyed. Driven mad with rage, you punch the stone with the wall. Blood spatters from your knuckles. It grows dark again. Lock on the door squeaks, and then the cell doors open. They carry you out by the arms, but you no longer resist. You're sick of this. It's no use anymore. Seat you in the interrogation room. There's a man sitting across from you, plain but well-tailored jacket, face with chiseled features, thick black mustache, black eyes, watching your every move from the deep sockets. When did the secret chancellery first start watching? When did you all become pawns in their game? Nobleman keeps studying you with utter disdain. Even grandfather looked at you with such scorn. Never looked at you with such scorn. He wears a pendant in the shape of a wheel. His gloved hand rests atop a table, all the while stick leaning against it. Behind him stands Sophia, her head down. Felipe El Ferro. I am Felipe. I'm not going to give you a voice. I don't want to. Advisor to the secret chancellery, but I have a dislike for titles. Call me Sir Felipe. That will suffice. I know everything about you, young Brante. Your father and grandfather are loyal servants to the Empire. Your brother is of noble birth. Where did your life take such a turn? How did you stoop so low? The advisor of the secret chancellery shakes his head, presenting you with a clearly false smile of sympathy. Feel like a student in front of a strict teacher, but you will not leave this room with a mere flogging. You, young people, don't even realize what you are doing. Openly defying the church and its teachings, openly speaking out against the law. And when Julius Diamant gives you the order, You wreak havoc in the capital, assault priests, and free apostate witches sentenced to execution. Isn't that right, Sophia? Yes, Sir Felipe. It all happened exactly as you said. You shiver with disbelief. There was no order from Julius Diamond. That's not true. It never happened. You look at Sophia. She will not look at you. Her eyes are only on Baron Elfero. He looks at you with a fatherly smile and a ruthless gaze. You are trapped. Now his words will be the truth, and nobody will ever believe anything that you say. If only I could be like you, young Brante, a mere boy who thinks he can change the Empire all on his own. But I suppose it's a good thing I'm not that naive. Otherwise I'd be in your shoes right now and dealing with someone far worse than me. There are many things in this world that do not sit well with me either, but unlike your youthful rebellion, my goals are quite clear. My wish is to save the Empire, to save it from the likes of you, people who reject tradition and the laws given to us by the gods, fools who seek to set their mages free, practitioners of the new faith that is destroying the church from within. Even the leader is a patriarch and an Archnean from an ancient dynasty. Thanks to Sophia, this secret society of hers, we've already managed to gather all the dangerous insurgents together and summarily deal with them in one fell swoop. The heretic Julius Diamond is next in line. But that is none of your concern. Let's speak of your fate now. Felipe produces a folder full of notes and puts it on the table in front of you. The folder bears your name. Your hands shake as you flip through the notes. How you infiltrated the college during the siege, how you helped recruit more people for the lotless. These articles you wrote for that newspaper, the advice you gave Sophia. Your preparations for the march on the collars. Your life over the past 3 years is laid down in pages. Just the records your presence at the lotless meetings is enough to sentence you to execution, but it's the least of what you have done over the years. Your stomach churns. Do not expect your father's authority as a judge to save you from this, Brante. He is just a second-generation judge. A brief note from me and you will face true death. And then your father and the rest of your peculiar little family. Excuse me? Wow. Sir Felipe, He strikes Sophia swiftly and painfully. She doubles over and clutches at her stomach, grasping for breath. Slowly, Felipe returns the walking stick to its previous position. His gaze never leaves you. I don't remember giving you permission to speak. But very well, I grant it now. Speak. Sophia finally catches her breath and leans against the wall. She looks at you for the first time since the interrogation began. Sir Felipe, Brante grew up in Anazote like me. He's very bright and has proven himself quite capable since the first days with the Lotless. You will find my description of him in my report. He will serve your cause in Magra well. You do not look at Sophia. Her betrayal is the reason you ended up here. But now she's putting herself at risk to save your life. Felipe stares you down, his chin resting on his fist. Oh, I wish I could outwit Felipe. I'm not enough of a manipulator. There are only 2 ways out of this room, Brante. One leads to the gallows, the other makes you my loyal servant. Thank your childhood friend for this mercy. I will give you one chance, and only one, to prove that you are useful to the secret chancellery. I'm listening. Wow, so I could end the game right now. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this so bad. I need a 13, but I'm not there. Oh, Why? I'm so weak. The only thing I'm good at is being scheming. And I'm silver-tongued. I'm scheming and silver-tongued. I don't have... Well, I'm gonna prove that I can be useful. I may use my scheming because it's the only tool I've got. Pull yourself together and start thinking. There's only one way out of this prison and back to your safety. You must prove that you are useful to the city hall. You have to prove to this noble advisor that you are more than just a low-born malcontent. You have to prove that you can understand Felipe's intricate plans and play an important role in them. As soon as you start talking, Felipe listens carefully to every word you say. You understand correctly, the noble advisor's plan was to create a secret society, the Lotless, in the capital. Sophia is its leader, overseeing the support of the secret chancellery. The purpose of this group was to entice as many discontented young commoners as possible to join its ranks. Wow. So this was entirely his plan. This was entirely his plan to weed out people who were discontent. And Sophia was a pawn for this the entire time, a knowing and willing pawn. Once it was done, the society would begin peaceful protests to support the mages, but this protest would quickly descend into chaos and bloodshed in the square when they tried to free the imprisoned mages. Conclude the Lotless and the March of the Callers were just bargaining chips whose purpose was to undermine the standing of the patriarch Julius Diamant, who's famous for showing his support for mages. Wow. Man, this guy sucks. All of a sudden, Felipe breaks into a satisfied smile. You are intelligent indeed, Brante. I'm not sure what schooling you've received from your father, but you'd make a fine agent of the secret chancellery. You sure have an eye for everything that matters. Right you are, the Lotless have outlived their usefulness. Soon we'll find and deal with the rest of these low-born ragamuffins. So this never had any chance of going anywhere. Color me impressed, but if you disappoint me, so much worse for you. Mark my words, from this moment on, you are my secret servant. This is your only lot in life now, as it were. You will obey me, and no one else. Do not even think of mentioning the secret chancellery to anyone. You and Sophia will return to Anazote. Tell everyone you earned a small fortune in the capital or made wealthy friends. You're a slippery young man. Just think of something believable, will you? Once you're there, open a print shop. Do not waste too much time on it. This job will be your cover to keep you looking busy in the public. My people will pay you visits from time to time, and I will bring you instructions from me. I have big plans for your desert province. My every instruction must be carried out immediately. If you ever fail or try to fool me, your family will suffer along with you. Screw you. You can have stuff on. Here. This should be enough for the print shop. Now you have something to bring back home. With a chuckle, Felipe drops a hefty pouch at your feet. It feels like a rock and makes a sound that only gold can make. Before you can say anything, he turns around and leaves. Once you are left with Sophia, she finally lets her emotions to the surface. Don't you dare call me a traitor. Don't think it was easy for me to watch my friends being killed. Nobody would have left the room alive if it wasn't for me. Yes, I bound everyone I could with my spell because otherwise you would have died trying to fight back. I hoped I could get everyone out of there alive, but I only got you out. And now Felipe is about to eliminate the rest of the Lotless. We can do nothing to save them now. And as for you and me, Felipe has us on a leash now. We have to survive like this. She wasn't knowingly captured the whole time, but this was started by him. If I don't do what I'm told, he'll have me collared and sent back to the House of Humility to be an obedient, soulless puppet. But we have each other now, we can do this. Don't lose hope. The jailer enters the room before you can say anything else. You are led out of the prison into the yard. You wince the light of the sun and the shining pillar. As the carriage takes you back to the flop house, where you took refuge at the March of the Callers, The driver kindly informs you he has orders to take you back to Anazote in 3 days. Start packing. It feels like a dream. Everything will happen exactly as Felipe said. You have nowhere to run. If you try to flee, they will find you. And they will find your family first. Why did I have to like any of them? In the blessed Archnean Empire, there is no way to start over with a clean slate. The twins and the secret chancellery see all. Crap! Oh, this sucks. This sucks so much. I hate this. Just before you leave the Capiter... Oh no. He's going to be executed. He's one of the leaders of the New Faith. Will stand trial before a church tribunal. Junius patronizing blasphemous witches and dismissing heresy. The Holy Tribunal claims that Julius Diamond was scheming to free all witches and sorcerers from the collars that fetter their accursed powers. And what's worse, the Patriarch, who also accused of forming the lawless and dangerous society based in the imperial capital, members of the society have been assaulting the inquisitors and priests from the church, as well as freeing the witches from the cleansing fire and helping them escape the holy law. Now the Patriarch must face the Holy Tribunal on the Inquisition in Eterna. By all accounts, this is a devastating blow to the New Faith and the end of days for Julius Diamond himself. The Inquisition will now make the most of his opportunity to rid the land of this unwelcome Patriarch who dared shake the foundation of the old faith. But then comes the sudden news of Patriarch Junius's reply to the Holy Tribunal. It is no less stunning than the accusation. These words are nothing but lies I will say to anyone who dares to bring this accusation against me in person. But I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of the responsibility of the slander against me, my flock, the Diamond Dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agree to stand on trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I will face them on my own land in my own terms. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many other priests across Archnia. Parishes of the New Faith throughout the Empire are now speaking out in support of him. The Church of the Twin Gods is about to be rent in twain. Whatever that means. The Inquisition has no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. Their new official stance is that the Patriarch Junius has been wrongfully accused, and the Holy Tribunal will now apply more cautious judgment during any further trials against the followers of the New Faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Fotis is no longer seen as heresy by the Inquisition. At least good things are happening, but I've got to escape my situation. The trial of Junius Diamond has been averted, but the divide within the church is only deepening. The New Faith has directly challenged the Old Faith. The result is uncertain depending on who you ask. Some say Julius Diamond all but pled guilty. Others believe the Patriarch and the alleged rebellion against the church as well as the Inquisition is nothing but a ruse. There are also people who think the entire situation sounds like one of the secret chancellery's dirty deeds. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astinia and co-leader of the New Faith remains at his post. But for how long? And how will the Old Faith and the New Faith clash next? All right. The schism continues. Farewell to the capital. I'll finish this out. Because I have a feeling, because I'm about to go home, right? The Reglata and Taurina rivers meet outside the city walls. You barely left the capital since you came all those years ago. Yeah, this is about to end my youth. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrived a boy full of hopes and aspirations, driven by your family's expectations and a desire to live your life as you saw fit. Where did your youthful ambition lead you in the end? Eterna never became your home to you. It was a place of turmoil and disappointment. You tried to change the course of history, but history broke you in half and threw you away. Sadly, that's a lot of times what happens. You were too young and inexperienced. Your entire life was wrecked by a single decision. Yep. But I couldn't have made another one. What future could you possibly have now? All of your hopes are buried here in Eterna, and you must leave this city behind. Your hands clench into fists as you think about it. You will have to live two lives. A public life as the owner of a print shop, and a secret life as a spy for the secret chancellery. It's the only path that fate has in store for you now. Mother used to say the humility and hard work and strength of the common folk. Each new blow brings less pain and teaches you to get back up more quickly. All you have to do is walk this path without showing weakness. I mean, this definitely breaks his spirit. But you strayed from the path of humility and graduated from the school of hard knocks. You learned to lie and manipulate others. Surviving. If you want to read this, you can, but this is basically just a summary of the end so far. Many things haven't changed back home by now. You recall Gloria particularly fondly. Where she used to rebel all the time and defy her lot to write poems. She also fought hard to be herself, no matter what other people or the law said. Gloria was the only one who supported your decision to find your own path. You want to see her so badly and tell her the news and share the joy of your return with her. You have to get her a gift from the capital, something that will matter to your sister while there's still time. You decide to buy her a book she could never find in Anazote. Good. Start combing through the market. You go to 5 bookstores, but you see nothing suitable. One last shop, and then it's time to leave, you promised yourself. The store is marked by an unremarkable sign of an unremarkable building. You enter a room with dark bookshelves. You see a small bound book on black leather. The name of the author, Charmalandius, is stamped in gold. You peek inside. How strange. This is not a biography of the rebellious Duke of Bada's rebellion. It's not even a study of his legacy. It's a book of his poems. It's gonna be so sweet. You bet I'm buying that for her. Oh, that's so sweet. Good job, dude. That makes me tear up. That's so sweet. It's about love and struggle and strength of will and keep driving a fight when all hope is lost. A book costs almost nothing. It leaves the bookstore with you. Yes! Yay! Oh. This makes me happy. Homecoming. After 4 years in the capital, you return to your home city of Anazote. And all has been restored. Years of youth have come to an end. This is basically just a review of what's happened, and this is the end of youth. Wow. And so, at this point, there are 2 chapters left. We've got peacetime and then the revolt. Wow. So, my theology is low and it's probably going to stay low. My diplomacy is low. And I wonder if it's going to stay low. What am I at? 3. Manipulation is low, but that can be brought up to a reasonable level. Valor is almost to the point that it starts to matter. And I am silver-tongued, and I am scheming. So that's all good for me. All I can do now is walk the path. I didn't really choose it. It was kind of given to me. All right. Time for 20 years old in the years of peacetime.
A full adult now, I returned from the capital a changed man.
I returned from the capital a changed
my
man.
hometown was not the same as I had left it.
Oh, is it so?
Fate had difficult times in store for all of us.
Oh no. Don't tell me more. Alright. I am going to go ahead and stop here. Well, let me get through this because I don't know if this will still be here when I return. I'll get to a normal stopping point like I usually do. The carriage makes its way along the road. Oh, if I get to see Gloria, that will make me so happy. Sister love. That could have been taken really weird. I'm so sorry, y'all. But, like, Gloria's such a sweetheart, and she actually cares about me. See Land of Magro through the window, empty, skit by the ancient magic. Your home, Anazote, is but a few hours along the road. A hot sun, pull tight. Okay, so traveling, how will react? Will they accept you? After you betrayed your... Yeah, and so on and so forth. You are back in the native province. Everybody except for Stefan still has a strong relationship with me, so it should be fine. Excuse me. But who are you now? A clandestine, outlaw, a rebel, or an agent of the secret chancellery? I am secretly a rebel. I'm going to play my cards as close as I can, because I need to make it to the revolt, but I am not resigning myself to the secret chancellery. Can you save everything you hold dear to drive away the worries about your new life and new destiny? You reread Sophia's letter yet again. Oh, this is Sophia's letter. Sophia's letter. Sophia's letter. Sophia's letter. Okay. I'm glad you didn't do anything stupid and chose to seize your chance to freedom, Brante. I'll go to Anazote a week after you. Both of us are coming back at the same time. Might attract unwanted attention. It's best that nobody ever knows that we have anything to do with each other. We'll find an excuse for our frequent meetings later. Well, I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be, but okay. You should go home and reconnect with your family. Don't draw any attention. Keep your head down. Don't leave the old house of yours. When the time comes, I'll find you. Tell everyone you're planning to open a print shop. Find a building to rent for it, someplace from prying eyes. It'll be underground. It'll be our underground headquarters. I'll tell you more about our mission when we meet. That is all. This sucks. Oh, this sucks. Outcomes of this chapter. Holy crap, there's a lot here. Well, that's the goal. So there's a lot that's going to happen soon. No, that's not happening. All right, so anything else I need to know? Most important events may happen to the House of Brante. The family falls apart. Heir of the family. That's going to be something about... Oh, no. Oh, no, I don't need to know that. I don't want to know that. I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to... No, stop speaking at it. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. Deeds that you can accomplish. Occupation screen is now available. Unrest represents how bellious the commoners are. It determines the influence of the last straw on Anazote and the power in the impending rebellion. Spy network. You convert citywide network of spies and informants. It determines the influence of the secret chancellery in the city of Anazote. Oh, we're not going. Well, I have to be careful, though. I have to be very freakishly careful. Oh, this is going to be frustrating. Alright, well, let's close this out. Alright, I'm 20 years old now. Getting close to my own age. Got a couple of years left to get there. Carriage stops familiar game. Alright, we're going to stop here, and I will see you guys later. This hurts. Like, this hurts a lot. This hurts so much. And I'll be honest, really, like, I know that, like... I know I've still got a good relationship with Dad, and I've still got a good relationship with Mom. Stevan could get eaten by a crocodile for all I care, and even Nathan. Nathan does not look well. And I know I've got a good relationship with him, but really, I would sacrifice it all for Gloria. And I'm not gonna peek at what's going on. You guys can read it if you want, but I'm gonna keep the surprise for myself. And so we're gonna stop there for now, and I will see you guys later. So peace out. This is not gonna end well.